Oh, where are you? Retro. None of us is showing. Hi everyone, we will begin in just a few minutes. Thank you for waiting.
Okay, so we are ready.
Let's just make it a little bit 7:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, to silent.
Okay. Minus. Yeah.
I want to discuss.
And then once you guys are done, then I will talk this. And we move forward. Every time I'm done, just give me a look and I will move into more sections.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just how much time?
I got this.
I'm turning to
Okay.
no log. So one log.
Alright, okay, fine, then I will switch.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us. We're going to begin in the next few minutes. Please hold on. Thank you. All right. Good evening and welcome to the JS Institute of Design. My name is Tarika Said. I handle program operations and admissions for JSID.
Hi, I'm Nancy Xiao. I'm the academic advisor for the JSID school, and I have experience in design education of 20 odd years. Also practiced as a designer in the past.
Hi, my name is Lily, and I am the course coordinator and the senior faculty at GSID. I have with me 11 years of experience in the field, and last 4 years I've also been into the academics.
All right. In this webinar, we will make sure that you understand our flagship program, our pedagogy, our curriculum, our faculty, mentors, and advisory board. We'll talk about our 6-month internship, our career opportunities, our scholarships, and why we think you should join JS Institute of Design.
So let me begin by giving a little background to how JSID came into existence. This has been set up by Mr. Jagdish Khandelwal and along with Dr. Pramod Raj Sinha. Mr. Jagdish Khandelwal is also the founder of Jagdish Stores, the brand, the chain which deals with high-end furnishing fabrics. It's been in existence since the last 50, 60 years, and Jagdish Store has been established all across the country. Now, looking at the market that the furnishing industry was catering to, which was mainly the interior design and the architects who were catering to the hospitality retail industry. That's where Mr. Jagdish Khandelwal got feedback onto what the gaps were in the industry. And because of that, a study was conducted by Ernst & Young to figure out what was needed in the market in terms of services by designers. That's when it was found that there seemed to be a big gap between designers who were trained in university systems and were entering the professional field. It seemed that because of the university academics, a lot of practice portion was sort of left out and the students undergoing the program did not have the opportunity to undertake that particular experience. As a result, the studios, architects and the design studios found these professionals to be lacking in that service area. And hence, it was decided that we should start a program which will give this hands-on experience, a more holistic, professional, on the site kind of an experience for the students. That's how the JSID school and the program of interior design came into existence. Let me also give you some idea about the backgrounds of Mr. Khandelwal and Mr. Sinha. Mr. Khandelwal, of course, has been in the furnishing field since the last 50, 60 years, has great experience and insight into what the market requires. He has huge contacts with the high premium users of textiles and interior design. Whereas Mr. Pramod Raj Sinha has had 20 years of experience in higher education and has been initiator of many schemes such as, he's helped to build up the Indian School of Business and has been the founding dean. He's also helped build Ashoka University along with introducing many initiatives such as the Young India Fellowship, the Vedika Scholars Program for Women, Anand Fellowship, Naropa Fellowship, most of them to do with management. Now, with two stalwarts coming together, of course, the program had to really, the program really had to look at being innovative, new, and to cater to the specific needs so that we can train the students to just right and put them into the industry and to become more useful at the time that they enter the profession. Let me just give you a quick line on what the JSID mission is. It's to create high quality design professionals for the 21st century workplace. And the school also has a vision to be the leader in design education in the field of interior, retail, fashion, and media. With this, I think we will go on to talk about the program now.
Yeah. This is just another small reminder that if in case you have any questions, please do not hesitate to write them out in the live chat while we are speaking. We will collate them and we will answer all your questions once we are done. So please do not hesitate to write your questions down. Talking about our program is divided into 3 parts with design at the center, supported by our build and lead modules. We want our students to design for outcomes, build for the future, and lead the way. The design core is supported by build and lead modules, where the students will understand how organizations function, as well as we will enable our students with leadership and entrepreneurial skills to build a successful career in the design industry. Lily ma'am will tell us a little bit more about our design program.
So the program structure is basically centered around 12 months, 11 to 12 months of a project-based learning and 6 months of internship, which is a mandatory internship. If we focus more on the project-based learning that is lasting about 11 to 12 months, we will be working on 4 projects. Each project will be lasting around 3 months each. So each project is focused around modules that will be needed specifically to enhance the elements of design for that project. I will begin with an example. For example, if we start with the residence project, the students will be guided through an interior design studio, which will be complemented by a module of fabrics and furnishings and interior styling, which all together will add to the soft elements that are needed in a house to make it a home. And for example, also if we talk about the retail project, it will be guided by an interior design studio that will be complemented by modules such as graphics and branding, which will be concentrating on the enhancement of signage and how to create the branding look, as well as visual merchandising, which enhances the setup of the products in a retail project. All the projects will also be accompanied by softwares like AutoCAD. Now, AutoCAD is a software, it is a 2D software which is largely used by architecture and interior design firms. So we'll be teaching students AutoCAD also and a 3D software SketchUp, which is a favorite of architects and interior designers in the field. If we go on to our
Faculty and mentors.
Yes.
Tell them a little bit about our faculty and mentors. Also, please remember that you can write down your questions and we will answer them at the end.
So coming to our advisory board members, we have the founder of the renowned architecture firm called Architecture Discipline, Mr. Akshat Bhatt. Mr. Akshat Bhatt is famous for his prestigious projects. The outcome of his projects, which is determined by a series of critical design processes that result in design expressions that are contextually charged and contemporary. We also have Mr. Madhav Raman, who is the founder of the international acclaimed practice Anagram Architects, and his firm has also been included in a nomination for the Aga Khan Award in 2010. He also moderates the DesignX Design Roundtable discussions, which focuses on the design discourses around disciplines. We have in our advisory member panel also Ms. Kolika Kohli, the daughter of Sunita Kohli, and she is the creative director of K2 India, a renowned firm dealing in government projects as well as other residential projects. In our esteemed mentors, we have Miss Minakshi Goyal. She's the head of the design firm Mobile Grace, which deal basically in high-end residences and corporates and retail. We also have Shamrishta Yadav, who is the design manager and coordinator of several esteemed architecture and interior projects. Our faculty is also including a lot of senior members from the industry. We have Mr. Mahesh Borse, who is reclaimed fabric and furnishing designer, and he is actually the alumni of NID. We also have Mr. Chandrasekhar Bera, who is the alumnus of JJ School of Arts, Mumbai. We have Mr. Manu Manshit, who will be guiding our students through visual merchandising module, and he himself has done the visual merchandising of IKEA. He is also the esteemed faculty of Pearl Academy of Fashion. He is also teaching in NID and NIFT. We have Ms. Jyoti Thapa Mani, who has been the design head of Economic Times and Business Today, and she is also the alumnus of NID. What else can we talk about?
Sure. We can definitely now, since Lily ma'am has already mentioned, we have our program is of 18 months divided into two parts, 11 to 12 months of study and a 6-month guaranteed internship, which we will provide for our students. We would like to talk a little bit more about that internship.
So the internship will be a mandatory internship, as I mentioned before, and we have actually arranged our associates and partners in the interior service industry to mold our students and absorb them into their firms. We have based the internship, as I already mentioned, it will be lasting for around 6 months. Now, why we have made it to last for around 6 months is because any interior design firm or even an architecture firm, the project that they undertake, it lasts for around 3 to 6 months. So the student needs to go through that intensive training in which the student will undergo not only the hands-on training on their AutoCAD and hands-on training on the design exercise, but along with that, they will also go through the sourcing exercise that will be included along with managing the whole project and also managing the vendors, the coordination with the clients. So wholly, this will be a holistic experience for the students. That's why we are not limiting it to only 1 or 2 months, but a wholesome, holistic experience of 3 to 6 of a 6-month internship. The placements are, of course, dependent on the students. We are promising 100% internship and placement to the students. What else can we talk about? Yes.
Just to mention, this internship will also offer you a stipend. Now talking about once our internship is actually over and we finish the entire 18-month program, what exactly can you expect in terms of career opportunities as a student of JS Institute of Design?
So firstly, after your, of course, the internship and when you will be placed, most importantly, you will be placed as assistant to interior designers. So you can be the assistant, you can be placed as these as assistantships to interior designers, and you can also work under architects. Meanwhile, when you go further on into your career graph, you can also be, be working as interior stylists. You can be working as color consultants. You can be working as, of course, interior design consultants and HVAC consultants. We will be also covering building services. So a student can also go into project management.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. We're moving on. We're talking a little bit more about our intake. We see that we have a couple of questions. Ms. Devika, Ms. LA, Mr. LA. We will get back to you as soon as possible, as soon as we're done, and we hope to answer your questions maybe in the next few minutes as well. We want to move on and talk to you a little bit more about the current intake that we have. We're going to be starting classes at the end of January, and we hope, the admission date is on the course starts on the 27th of January 2020. For our founding batch that we currently have, JS is sponsoring up to 100% scholarships for our students. The total fee for the program is 3.75 lakhs plus GST, but you can get a fully funded scholarship to come study here. Once you have submitted your application, how do you go about asking for the scholarship or getting the scholarship? You have to just send us a small note of less than 300 words, SOP, telling us why you think that you deserve the scholarship, and we will then reach out to you asking for relevant documents. And that it's as simple as that. Our scholarships are both based on need and on merit. So if in case you need the scholarship or if you deserve the scholarship, we would like the best and the most deserving candidates to be able to come and enroll at JS Institute of Design. We would like to again just end up our program before we get to questions to quickly tell you why you should be a student at JS Institute of Design.
Well, many reasons, but as the program has been envisaged to be really be hands-on, each student, of course, undergoes the project experience, and that too at this in the whole year you'll be covering 4 projects. So, and which means all the possible projects that are handled in the interior space, that is residence, retail, hospitality, and corporate. So, hands-on experience. You also have 6 months integrated training. Now, this is the most important portion because when you get into the industry, you sort of assimilate yourself into the practice that is going on. It's a 360 degrees holistic experience, and a person or a student who's really been through that kind of a program is really valued. And this is the kind of people the industry is looking for. We also have a very unique model of pedagogy or learning. We not only look at building your design skills, introducing you to the subject matter, but we also help you build you professionally. Your competencies as a professional are going to be valued. That is what is going to take you ahead and project yourself in your best manner. And the other bit is about leading. So there are modules built into the 4 projects where you will be exposed to the various competencies and skills required to be a leader, not only just as a team worker or to have communication skills, but also how do you take on initiatives and build it up and lead it. You will be working with a lot of experienced academics, teachers who have been not only in academics but in the practicing field for 2 decades or more. You'll be working closely with them, and you will be guided by the industry mentors. Now, each project is going to have an industry mentor working along with you. The situation is almost a simulated studio, like in a studio. So the industry mentor meets you 2 to 3 times a week, works with you, has given you a brief, and you go on to get guided by the mentor and is supported by the in-house faculty member throughout the project. There will also be industry stalwarts being invited to speak on expert talks, expert subjects, and you will be sent out to the market like in any other project to source, to get to the market and find the best possible solution for the project that you're working on. Besides this, the advisory board consists of some of the most experienced and forward thinkers, the visionary thinkers in education. And this is why this course is so unique, because you're going to get advice from them, you're going to get the insight of what the future holds for us. Okay, so sorry.
Yes, perfect. So I think that's about it from all of us, and we wanted to quickly go ahead and have a look at some of the questions that we have at the moment. Ms. Devika asks if she wants to know the batch intake schedule and the student faculty ratio at JS Institute of Design. I think we did cover it through the talk, but just to reiterate to you, our founding batch starts its classes on the 27th of January 2020, and our applications close on the 17th of January this month, while so that we have a little bit of time before our program begins. And the faculty student ratio at JS Institute of Design is a maximum of 1:10. This will probably be much lower because we want to focus on the student and teacher interactions, and we want to make sure that the students actually have a lot of one-on-one time with our teachers. If anybody has any more points on this.
So I'd just like to add on that 1:10 means that the student is guided, is given tutorial not only by the in-house faculty, but the industry mentor who comes in would be interacting with them, with each of the students. A lot of projects will though be done in groups. So you may be reassured that whatever the strength of the group is going to come together on the project along with the support of the full in-house faculty and the industry mentors. I think we have one more question on how much time will we get to spend with the mentors. So let me say that the industry mentor is going to be like a studio head or the creative head as in any normal firm. The students and the faculty in-house will be working on the projects and they will report to the mentor. Now, like in any studio, mentors interact with their teams perhaps 2 to 3 times in a week. And that's the practice that we are going to build. We are going to follow this practice throughout. They will spend, at a time, they will spend 3 hours minimum with the students on a given day. And that's how we expect them to give brief, we expect them to give us the feedback. And once the students have improved on the feedback, then further discussions happen along with the mentor and the rest of the team members. So I could safely say that perhaps we are looking at 6 to 9 hours in a week.
Yeah, and I would like to add that the studio where we will be having an in-house faculty all the time at the interior design studio. As ma'am mentioned that we will be having a mentor coming in who will be giving the practical exposure to you. And yes, we are aiming for around 36 to 40 hours in one project. So that'll be 9 weeks, like so 3 to 4 hours in a week, or maybe 4 to 5 hours in a week. So that'll be 8 into the 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours a week. So that lasts around 36 to 40 hours in a project.
Perfect. Moving on to the next question. I saw your fee on the program brochure and on your website. Is it possible to pay the fee in installments? Definitely. Our fee payment is broken up into 4 cycles. There will be an initial payment that you need to make before you join the program, and then it will be broken up into paying before every term starts. As Lina and me and Ma'am have mentioned, our terms are our projects and they last for 3 months. So you'll be paying your entire fee over approximately 8 months till August in 4 installments. We'll make sure that it's as easy and as comfortable for you to be able to make your payments, and we're definitely willing to talk about it in case you need to work on some of the dates, etc. It's flexible, but yes, you'll be able to pay in installments.
So we have Aditya, who's interested to join the course, but he completes his graduation in May.
Correct.
So when will be the next batch? We are starting our first batch in January, end of January. It completes, the first project completes April end, and the next batch starts in May. Now, if you finish your graduation in May, you could perhaps look at joining in May, or you could look at joining in August.
July. That the next project starts, like the third project starts in July and August.
Like we mentioned, our projects last 3 months long, and we'll be having an intake every project. So we're going to have 4 intakes during the year, and you can make sure you can join whatever project seems comfortable and fits your timeline. So, like ma'am said, if you're graduating in May, you can possibly join the May batch, or you can join the next batch in August. We're just waiting to see if there's any more questions, and we'll wrap up soon enough. Thank you so much for being here and listening to us. And remember that if in case you have any more questions, you can always reach out to us on our email IDs as well as on our phone number that is registered on the website. If in case you require any help with your admission process or with your application, you're most welcome to reach out to us for a free counseling session as well. We've got another question. I have no design background. Would that affect my application?
Well, Rinki, let me tell you, no. You see, this is a training program to introduce people to the space of interior design, not just as a designer. If you were to be trained as a designer, there are many things to be done. However, the interior design industry needs people of various competencies, design being one of them. There are people who look at design, or let's say innately are talented or creative, and they come into design, can pick up design very quickly. But this program is going to introduce you to all the subject matter that is important for any designer to be aware of. And they can then practice, once they are familiarized with all the practices and functions, you may find yourself more comfortable with, let's say, project management or as an interior stylist. A stylist is somebody who has the ability to put together products, looks, colors, textures in any interior space. Now that is understanding these elements and being able and having that knack to put it together. Of course, as a formal educator, we sort of help you to give you certain systems and framework to go ahead with that. So not necessarily, you don't have to be only creative. You need to have an inclination towards creativity, but you also need to be smart about managing a project, sourcing, working with technology. This is going to introduce you to that. As you get into practice, of course, you're going to become better and better. So we won't worry about being only creative. Okay.
Mr. Sarvadaman has asked us what is the batch size that you are planning. Like we said, sir, we are going to have the student faculty ratio of 1:10. That means that every batch or every project will only have a maximum of 10 students. Again, to re-emphasize, we want to make sure that the students have a lot of face time with our teachers and have a lot of one-on-one time, and we are able to learn from not only their teachers but also from their peers, and to make sure that the group is small but also very hungry to move forward, right? So that's the main aim. Sure. We also have Miss Nivedita asking a couple of questions. I have my own design firm and have been in the industry for 6 years. Will this still be useful for me?
Well, great. I think so. Nivedita, you probably already know what the industry pressures are. It has always been about delivering on time or even earlier, being able to manage your finances or your budget with the solution that you're giving them, and so many other factors. Now, what I think is exciting about this program is that even people who have been working in the industry but want to be introduced to specifics in the field, such as you want to be introduced to software, learning of software, you want to be introduced to styling, which really requires a lot more elementary knowledge of artifacts, art, crafts. All these things need to be coordinated and put together. The ability to work in a team is some of these things are, I think, really very important. What I also think is this particular tray is going to give you exposure to all aspects of spaces that is being practiced in the industry. If your practice is mainly to do with residences, this is a great chance to know what happens in corporate fields, corporate offices, in retail, in hospitality, etc. And otherwise, we also have small minor assignment to work on exhibitions, which means temporary structures, because that itself is a very specialized field and has great scope, because there are many designers who work only in on exhibitions alone or sets for events. So yes, it's going to give you that exposure, the access to the industry members or the stalwarts who work in this area, and I think that's going to be a big opportunity.
And I would like to add that if Nivedita, you have your own design firm, I'm sure you will be working on a lot of estimates. So we also have a module of estimation and costing in which we will get you acquainted to making detailed estimates. We will also get you to, as mentioned before, work on project management, which is very much needed to run a design firm. So wholly, this is a program which will holistically, introduce you and not only introduce you, but give you a practice of how the whole studio will work for you. So I think it will be a really good program that you should be joining.
Additionally, Nivedita, I feel that this specific institute, being JS Institute of Design and being something that Jagdish Store has started, it gives you a very unique space and atmosphere. They have already been in the industry for the last 50 years, and they've been working with and have already seen what the gaps are. So they will be able to help you build this course so that they can address those gaps and see how you can be better in the industry.
Definitely.
According to, additionally, you also have the mentors and the network that will be arranged for you here in terms of the advisory board, the faculty who would be teaching you. That kind of network would be beneficial at any stage of your life, at any stage of your business, and will only help you to take your business one step further.
I agree. You can make yourself a stronger brand than you already are.
Definitely.
So we go on to the next question.
Yes. How do I sign up for a counseling session with your faculty or mentors? It's very simple, Nivedita. You can go ahead and we'll send you an email. If you can just drop your email ID on this chat, we'll send you an email and a link to be able to book that slot. You also can find our number online on the website where you can give us a call and we can reserve that slot for you as well. Come on in any day of the week, Monday to Friday, between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. And we'll be glad to here to help you out through that as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Another important question is, what kind of companies can I expect to work in? And what would be the compensation range? Lily, would you like to take that?
So the companies, of course, you will be working mainly with architecture and interior design firms. As we already mentioned, we have a tie-up with a lot of interior design firms which are in association with us. For example, Mobile Grace, one of our mentors is coming from there, Ms. Meenakshi Goyal. You can also be working as a color consultant in Asian Paints. The compensation range will be mostly around the starting in which the internship. In internship, the compensation will be ranging around 8,000 to 10,000, of course, and it will be going on increasing as per your performance in the field. It goes on increasing as you go on, as the years goes by.
Yeah, that would be the stipend that would be part of your internship.
Yeah.
Once you have completed the program and are being placed, your compensation can differ from anything between 20,000 to 60,000, depending on the kind of experience that you've had, how you've performed during the course of the program, and how you've made the best of your internship. It depends completely if you have any additional design background, how many years of experience, and moving forward from there. Yeah.
Great.
Next, Ms. Devika, sorry for asking so many questions, but I'm really interested. especially since you also teach business skills along with design. Could you tell me more about what we will cover in Build and Lead? So, Devika, great question. Don't worry, you can ask us as many questions as you like. In the Build and Lead programs, you'll be learning basics of business. For example, you'll be learning about business and how it will function, how organizational leadership, basics of accounting. In the lead modules, you'll be working with leadership, understanding of yourself, moving your strengths and weaknesses. There'll be courses focusing basically on you and your abilities to be able to start a business, run a business, work in an existing business, and basically making you a completely holistic individual, like you mentioned.
Great. And Rajendra Prasad is asking, I'm a commerce graduate with a fair knowledge about computers. Can I join the program? So Rajendra, let me say, you are absolutely fit to join the program because we believe this program is actually looking for graduates only because it's an intensive program. It's a program which requires complete dedication. It's going to be, yes, it's going to be tough. It's going to be almost like being in a job. And we want people who are really focused and interested because it's going to demand a lot of your time. It's going to demand your ability to be dedicated to the submissions that are to be made. Because like in any industry, the deadline was always yesterday. And if that's the kind of environment you are going to be working in, we start you with that premises, that you are joining not just a course, you're joining a job, where you start taking responsibilities and we train you to take on further. So if you're ready for that, I think we are ready for you.
Perfect. I think that covers most of the questions that we have on board. If we have any more questions, this would be the time. Otherwise, like we mentioned, you can easily contact us via email or via phone. Both our contact numbers are available on our website, js-instituteofdesign.com. You can start your application, reach out for any application help, reach out to book your counseling session, and every Thursday we have an open house where you can come talk to our faculty, speak with them, have a coffee with them, have a one-on-one session, and be able to ask and clear any doubts that you might have. We are located in Lajpat Nagar in New Delhi. It's on the right of the ring road, so swing on by whenever you like. Thank you so much for attending our webinar, and we look forward to your applications.
Happy to have talked to you, and anytime, please contact us. We are ready to, let's meet up and talk more in details.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sahil. We see Sahil in the
Good
end.
session.